Gildan Media presents Your Coach in a Box, affordable, life-changing audio programs.
Gildan Media presents The Money Makers: How Roosevelt and Keynes Ended the Depression, Defeated Fascism, and Secured a Prosperous Peace. Written by Eric Rauchway. Read by Walter Dixon. Introduction. The Keynesian President and Us. Early in the fall of 2008, the telephone rang in my office in the Department of History at the University of California, Davis. The caller identified himself as a senior officer in a major Wall Street bank. The banker wanted to ask me what Franklin Roosevelt had done to fight the Great Depression, how much his ideas had been influenced by the economics of John Maynard Keynes, and how well his policies had worked. I said, "Sure, let's talk," while thinking, if someone like you is calling someone like me to talk about something like that, we are all in really big trouble. I knew financiers were nervous. The bankruptcy of Lehman Brothers, the consequent failure of money market funds, and the freezing of the commercial paper markets had all made headlines. But I had no idea how nervous they were. I did not then know that the president of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, listening to a major banker sound shaky over the phone, had told him not to make any more calls because, if anyone else hears your voice, you'll scare the shit out of them. And of course, then President George W. Bush, a firm believer that government should let private enterprise make its own decisions, had told us that government intervention is not only warranted, it's essential. But I did not yet know that he feared that if he did not intervene now, there might not be a free market left to leave alone later. So the banker and I had our discussion, during which I pointed out that Roosevelt had conducted an active monetary and fiscal program of recovery. In both cases, though perhaps more importantly in the case of monetary policy, working along lines suggested by Keynes. Roosevelt's policies had, I added, seen GDP grow exceptionally quickly and unemployment fall rapidly. Although I did not take notes on the banker's telephone call, I can date it fairly precisely, even given my middle-aged memory, for two reasons. First, the call came on my office telephone, which means I still had an office telephone on which to receive calls, because California's government had not yet begun the drastic budget cuts of 2009. These cuts contributed to a drop in demand for goods and services, and, as Keynes and Roosevelt could have told...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?